What up, you guys? Welcome back to Realism Overhaul. WOLVSAid engineers here, and this is Let's Do It! Alright, so first of all, guys, thanks so much for watching in advance, and let's get it rolling. In the last episode, our Kerbals was diving into collecting more science to, let's say, open new parts, to collect a new science. So we got basic science, which gonna give us the thermometer, which looks awesome. Obviously an orbital telescope, and what I'm guessing with this, we might open a new engine, because, well, why not? And of course I got the halogen labs, which will provide us with balloons. Yup. So for this episode, I'm gonna do something rather stupid and in a crazy and creative way. So first we will open up the rockets, and next we are gonna be building an airship carrying a rocket. So let's get building. Okay, so before we start, I just want to give a heads up. This supposed to be a rocket is going to space, but this time with a goal. The goal is more science, obviously. So I want to build up a lab. I'm gonna put 4 of these, and obviously 4 of every other science instrument that requires setting back. So for the thermometer, we actually only need 1. Let me get building and I'll explain once it's done. Alright folks, this is it. Now, I know I mentioned I was going to make it as balloonish as possible, but there's the problem of controllability. Basically, this is an uncontrolled explosion, and I kept it in a shape which looks like German. So I present to you the ugly potato. Basically, this is a 4-solid rocket motor connected to another solid rocket motor, connected to another solid rocket motor in another stage, and we got a nice vacuum engine here which have 5 ignition. This time I'm hoping that I won't screw up. Now basically what I want to do with this is to send it to high Earth orbit, send as much science as we can, crush it down. Simple. Let's launch it. Alrighty, so there we are on the launch pad, and I'm guessing I'm gonna ramp up the main engine ignition, and it's ramped up, full throttle, 60%, launch. That's, ladies and gentlemen, what I call a rocket launch. Look at that. Alright, so we are accelerating at 3 Gs, almost at 3 Gs. I'm gonna set... Alright, we're actually going very fast. Ferrum says we have high dynamic pressure. We might crash. Let's put everything into assistance. To be honest, I actually think we have no controllability over the rocket. I mean, seriously, this is an uncontrolled explosion. Now, we are reaching really high speed, and we can't transmit the science. So, oopsie, not you, you, and the rest. Okay, so pretty much we gain 50% of the thermometer, and once we switch to the high atmosphere, we might collect some even more science. Again, the whole goal of this craft is to go, well, I'm hoping it will reach the sun, although I doubt it. It's a little bit shaky, very shaky, and we have indeed reached the upper atmosphere. So let's transmit some data. You transmit, what are you? Material study, transmit. Okay with the rest. So we got, where's the delta V? We got still 8,000 delta V, and we're reaching the upper atmosphere. Our probe is still there, which we called early tech, probably never gonna come down. Our main engine is still running, because this one had an extra bit of fuel. So let's skip forward to space. We are in space. Okay, so apparently the atmosphere ends at 140. So let's collect some science. Part 3, I guess. Okay, so magnetosphere, temperature, material study, another material study, mystery goo, and obviously the telescope. So we have enough electric charge to get us into, well, maybe the sun-ish. Hello there, Kraken. So we got it. Alright, now the second stage, ignite. And apparently we're stuck. Mayday, mayday, mayday. Shit. Okay, so apparently the coupler is stuck within the rocket. And yep, it's pulling us backward. Now, we already done the mission basically, so I'm not entirely afraid that we might lose this, because this is a probe afterward and it got us some more science. But this was merely a test to see if we actually could build up something like this and send it to space, because next mission, oh hello, unknown object. Unknown object. Next mission is gonna be the sun. Now, I'm not gonna go crazy and go to Venus, but I want to send the same type of an aircraft all the way to the sun in a way that, well, we will collect more science from there. Now, we are spinning out of control, but we are actually getting some delta V, and we are in orbit. So I'll explain. Oh, we got another science thingy. If I'm able to capture the pod. Yep, alright. So to cut things rather smoother, there is no way this would reach high Earth orbit. But it's interesting to show this. Now, if you notice here, we spend half of the tank, but the balance between kerosene and liquid oxygen is not balanced after all. The reason for that is liquid oxygen, it does vaporize in the thin air, or like, since this is not pressurized, it loses its capacity. So basically, if we time forward, we are losing oxygen without burning any fuel. And that being said, this was another success. So let's head back to the Kerbal Space Center and continue with the next experimental aircraft. Alright, so back in the R&D facility, our Kerbals are very happy with the science that we collected. Unfortunately, it did not reach our goal, which was 90 points of science. However, we got controlled flight. So this time we are opening this and a new engine. Alright, so back in the VAB after the half catastrophic failure, we are going to upgrade our rocket with the latest engines that we got. And I can tell you, I am very excited about this, so let's get it rolling. Alright, so you do remember my promise of making this a balloon. Now let's go with the newest update. We get a balloon, and yes, it does fly. Now it's not gonna fly very high, but 6,000 meters is alright. This is a test. I'm sure it's gonna probably fall apart, but I have updated the tank and we're using a new engine. So this is a pressurized tank with 10 meters long. And by the way, the engine is awesome. It's not gonna burn for long. It's gonna burn only for 27 seconds, but it will provide us with 3000 delta V. The specific impulse of this engine in vacuum is above 350. This is literally a vacuum engine. It has the name in it. And we got a hell lot of booster. We have unlocked the winglet, so I'm guessing this time we're gonna make a proper gravity turn. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm gonna be doing this manually. So let's put the launch clamps on and send this into orbit. Alrighty, welcome back guys to the VIP part 2. And we all know what this means. We've screwed up. Okay, so basically the Vorex effect kind of flipped the craft apart. Therefore, we had a few changes. I have inclined these with the boosters, so we got only six winglets. I've added a winglet, a delta wing, and a winglet. It's gonna create a rather vortex effect that's not gonna flip our craft apart, hopefully. And the balloon test was very successful. I decided to add even a little bit more buoyancy, so we are going to reach 9,000 meters this time. By the way, the first time it did succeed. Okay, so a slight update before we launch. I have reduced the weight of this ship to get us some more delta V, especially in vacuum. We are going to use 2 of the not reusable science instruments. So let's launch it. Alright, there we are on the launch pad. I hope you guys can see this. So I'm going to set altitude control and let's accelerate rather slowly. So I'm gonna put it on 5 meters per second. The airship is inflated and releasing the clamps in 3, 2, 1. And we have a lift off over the balloon. I beat up NASA in this one. They didn't thought this one through. So we're accelerating. I don't want to kind of overkill it. We want to stick with 1G. Otherwise the whole ship would fall apart. So okay, so welcome back guys. We are reaching the ceiling of our balloon. This is at 9,500. We're actually reaching almost 10,000. So now it's time to release the clamp of this balloon and start our booster in 3, 2, don't crash, ignition, and all hell break loose over the balloon. Engines overheating, yep, everything seems to be nominal. So we'll start our gravity turn once we reach a thin atmosphere, because I've tried this earlier and the ship kind of flipped. We do not have large wings for an acceleration approximately at 4 Gs and rising. Our rocket is going up and we got approximately 9,000 delta V. So our goal is rather simple. Go straight up as far as you can. 8 data received on temperature scan while flying over grassland, and we have reached the velocity of 2,200. Our main booster is kind of dying, and in fact it did die, so we are going to send them back home. They're gonna land approximately above Jenny Kerman head. Hopefully he won't mind it. So we're still having 6,500. we are at approximately 2,400 meters per second, so we have a total delta V of approximately 9,000 during the whole flight. And I'm not sure how far is the high orbit of Earth. Now, in Kerbal Space Program, it's approximately 15 million meters away. Okay, so we got the last stage and we're accelerating rather crazy. This ship is shaking like hell and we are reaching 15 Gs of acceleration, almost running out of fuel. Now, it's interesting to see that we run out very fast. It's interesting to see that this pressurized tank this time worked and we didn't lose any liquid oxygen. And that's, ladies and gentlemen, is a re-entry at an orbital speed. Alright there folks, I'm afraid I'm out of time for today. I hope you did in fact enjoy today's episode. In the next episode, I want to do something rather innovative. So next episode, I want to build an airplane. It's gonna be probably wingless, but it's gonna fly and collect the science we need for a future exploration, because apparently those boosters are next to useless. I've tried different of engine sets and different of booster set, but nothing's gonna work for now. So we are going to upgrade a little bit our rockets. And until next episode, guys, if you liked today's episode, don't forget to slap that like button and stay tuned for more. WOLVSAid signing out.